Hi everybody, it's Amy, and I've been working with this new die today. It's a fun die. I made this little pocket planner. It is called the, let me show you the die. It's by Sizzix, and Katelyn Lizardi is the designer, and it's called the Pocket Traveler's Notebook die. So there you go. That's the information, and it's a really cute die. It makes these cute tiny pocket planners. Covers. It makes the cover, it makes a little pocket, and then it makes the pen loop, and it has a coordinating die set. Hold on a second, let me get that. Yikes. Let me grab that too. That is this one here, and it didn't come in this nice envelope. I put it in the envelope myself, but it's a thin lid set, and it let me see if I can find the name for it. It's called the Traveler's Notebook Inserts. And so you can get this little coordinating set that has all these additional pieces to make pockets, tabs. This makes a pocket folder, and the bigger die makes a folder, inserts, and let me give you a closer look at this. It's super cute. It's cute, super cute set. I like how you have the tab, and then you can do the top of the tab in a different color, and it does that with a heart and a bow. Super cute. It has words, hello, and notes, and this also says notes. This one says to do, and this one over here, it has another one that says hello, and I assume this one's to make confetti or something, or to cut a border, and then this long one over here is to help kind of connect inserts together so that they fold over in your traveler's notebook. So the thing that I found out with working with this die is that it does not, unlike the Eileen Hall die, which is a scoreboard die, this one isn't scoreboard, and it doesn't do, I scored this binding myself for here, so it doesn't score your binding. It just it's kind of a loose sheet, and it says on here, you need to use material called paper leather, which I don't have. I wanted to use this die with my, just my designer paper and laminating the paper. But it's designed to work with this paper leather, and I guess that has more flexibility than the designer paper. So I needed to, kind of improvise a little bit and score it myself to get it to make this shape. And I was going to show you how I did that in sort of like a process video. So in case you're working with the die, you can see how, I used it, and, to do the laminated version instead of the paper leather version. So I used the Mistletoe Kisses collection by Simple Stories. It's a really cute paper collection, and I just have a little bow on here from MFT. I used the silver elastic from Hobby Lobby to do the binding, and I did not complete this. I just got started on it, but I'll show you what I've done so far. Here's the little pockets. I did a couple little pockets. I have some journaling cards in them. Let me show you the pockets. They're really cute. And so I did those. And then this is not part of this die set. It's a little tag I made with a Cottage Cuts die set. And then I just used the, for this one insert that I've done, I used the Jot notebooks that you can get 3 for $1 at the dollar store. They do fit in here. They just fit in here in this cover. And I took the cover off that it came with. It was not, this is the one that it came with. So I took that off, and then just used the insert pages and stapled back on some of the designer paper from the Mistletoe Kisses collection. And then I haven't done my other inserts. I haven't done the back yet. And then that's the back of the planner. So yeah, so I was going to show you how I did my cover, being that it didn't have the score lines, and I wanted to laminate it. So here's what I did that I thought was the easiest way to work with the die. It has the holes on both pieces, so you cut your 2 cover pieces out of your designer paper, and then you're going to have your 3 holes on top, 3 holes on bottom, and the hole in the center. And what I did was I just took some red line tape, and I lined this edge and this edge, so that way when you tape them together, you know, you line everything up and you tape it together, it's going to be tight and closed on this side and tight and closed on this side. So let me go ahead and do that process. Got my red tape here. Yeah, and I just try to get that the red tape as close to the edge as possible of your paper, so you get a nice tight edge when you bind your sheets together, adhere your sheets together. So let me get this little bit off here. I have a little bit extra. Okay, and so that one's done, and then I'll do this edge. Oops, I want to make sure I'm in frame. Yeah. So, oh, yikes. Just kind of trimming off the extra adhesive. And then, you know, I'm also going to want here and here, I'm going to want everything nice and tight too. So I'm going to just use this thinner tape, red tape, and then I just run that over those the 3 top and bottom dots, just to seal up that edge too, on top and bottom. And you don't really need a lot, it's just paper. And then the when you go to laminate it, it's going to also kind of hold everything together. So yeah, so I adhere the 2 covers first and then score, then laminate. That's how I do it. So let's see, do I have this all good? Yeah, this looks good. So let me get, let me take these little bits off and yeah, line everything up here. This paper collection's so cute. I got it at Scrapbook Expo, and I don't even remember the name of the booth, but they had really good deal on the Simple Stories paper collections, and I love Simple Stories. I kind of like the clean and simple cartoony look, cutesy cartoony look. And this is the paper collection I got this year, the holiday collection I got this year to work with. I'm doing a couple of projects with it. I also got the authentic, what's that called? The Colorful Christmas. That's a really cute collection. And I also have one order, the Doodlebug Milk and Cookies Christmas collection. So here we go. I'm just lining up the holes before I press everything down into place. And yeah. And so now, oops, I have a little piece of red tape that I didn't see was in there, so I'm going to pull that out. Yeah, so now I have a nice, everything's nice and sealed up tight on the inside and outside edges. This red sticky tape is the little red paper is even sticky. So yeah, so that's what it looks like. And then what you do is, before you run this through, put this in your laminating pouch and run it through the laminator. What I recommend you do is score it. So along this edge here, where the top cover meets the bottom cover on the cover, and then this, oh gosh, that little piece of red paper, and then where this edge meets this edge on the inside cover. So we're going to score it in those 2 places. Let me do that now. Oops, let me get this over here. Oh, I'm struggling. Let me try it from this direction. Might do a little bit better. Okay, there we go. It's kind of hard to get that started because there's a little bit of adhesive tape there. Okay, so I have the score line there. I'm going to flip it around, and we're going to do that score line on the other side too. So here we go. And then we score it there. Give it a good score. Okay, and then it'll look, you know, you'll see your score lines, and now you have the binding, you know, the center spine that you didn't have because the die didn't really cut it, because it's, I guess it's meant to use with that leather paper, which I've never even heard of before, so I definitely don't have any of that. And I really wanted to use my designer paper anyway, so there. And now this is the little planner cover with the spine. It's ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run this through my laminator, my thermal laminator. I have a Scotch thermal laminator. So let me get my laminating sheet here. And I haven't, this is 8.5 by 11. And this will fit in here nicely. Let me get the right end here to slip it in. Here we go. You have to run it this way in your laminating pouch. And let's see, I want to give it a little bit more of an edge all the way around, so I will do this. And you can use it, like kind of line it up on, if you have a grid, that always helps. Let's see, make sure this is all lined up here. It's looking pretty good. Okay. Yep. Okay. So I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to run this through my laminating machine. Hi everybody, I'm back. So I ran the cover through my laminator. I ran it through a couple of times to get it to stick, and as you can see, the score lines are in there. And I'm just gonna round these corners. Let's see. On my project over here. And let me run this one too. Oops. Let's see. Do that. And then here we go. Yeah. Let me see if this one's a little bit, I got a little messed up. Let's see. I'll just redo this one corner a little bit better. There we go. Okay. And then what I do is just at this point, you can, because it's already scored, you can fold it up. It looks like it needs to go through one more time. I found a spot that's a little loose yet, so let me run it through my machine one more time. Okay, so there we go. I ran it through the laminator one more time, actually 2 more times, just to get it good and hot and sticky on there. And now what you do is, if you have a big bite, which is what I have, you have to repoke the holes that the die had punched in there, and I use this guy to do that. This thing sure does come in handy. For getting that center hole, especially. You could use a crocodile easy enough for the other holes, but this one really does help kind of reach. There we go. Okay. And yeah, and then you can go ahead and do your binding. The binding, they have how to do it on the sheet here. Oops, I didn't have this upside down, and it says you need 36 inches of elastic cord, and you start at the 2 ends, so by running it through the 2 ends. So let me see, this one comes out this end. Hi everybody, I just wanted to do a voiceover for this section. In this part of the video I'm doing the binding for the cover, and I had stopped the last time because I hadn't cut enough elastic cord, so I needed to get a longer piece, and I'm doing the binding here. And I'm going to leave this video in real time because, you know, I think to speed up the binding kind of defeats the purpose of showing the binding process part of the video. But the die does come with a helpful guide for how to do the binding. It's pretty straightforward. You just kind of run the piece through from end to end, and then at the end you'll see that what you do is you just kind of loop it back through the center, and then you'll get your fourth elastic string so that you can do your 4 inserts in your planner. And I have to say, this die is super adorable. I really like it. And what I think I was inarticulately trying to explain before is with the binding, it doesn't, with the Eileen Hull Traveler's Notebook die, you can score, you can cut and score chipboard, scoreboard, and you get a nice binding already scored. This die doesn't do that. You have to do the scoring yourself, and and they recommend a product called paper leather. But like I said, I wanted to do the laminated designer paper, and so then this is the best way that I've tried a couple of different approaches, and this approach I thought was the best way to work with the the laminated paper, which doesn't really have give like I assume the paper leather does, and the spine to make kind of like a rounded, more fabric kind of spine. So yeah, so I hope that you find this video particularly helpful for working with this die if you want to work with it in a way that's without the paper leather. So here I'm just snipping the ends. I finished up my binding and running my elastic cord through, and now I'm going to do the center loop. Now what you do is you take your 2 ends and you put them through the center hole, but I was not thinking, I think at this point I was getting a little tired, and so yeah, you put those 2 ends through the center hole, and then I just tied a double knot, and this is elastic, the silver elastic from Hobby Lobby. I need to get online and find some of the nice colored elastics and order some of those because they look so pretty and would be nice on projects. And I do like the die, so hopefully I'll be making some more pocket planners. And I love the Eileen Holt die too. It's a really nice die. And let's see, yeah, I'm just trying to make that second knot because I wanted to double knot it just to be sure. And yeah, and there you go. It's all finished. I think it turned out great. I do love the die. I highly recommend it. And I like the little accessory pieces the accessory die set that you can get with it. And I'll be working with that to make some folders and inserts, and I'll come back and show you the full project. And thanks a lot for watching today. Bye.